Hi. Okay, ready to start the recording. This is the Green Team meeting for October 8th, 2025. Ray, I think I'm going to let you start off and kind of talk about the first thing. Lois Kinkle did give her regrets that she cannot make it today. We have a note taker in for Mayor James. I've got Councilwoman McBride here, and I got Steve Weiss, and I am Michelle Bailey Hedgepeth. And Ray Jeffries is the one who's going to give us our first presentation for the Green Team. Ray?
Alrighty. Good afternoon, everybody. Thanks for joining us for today's Green Team meeting. The first item on our agenda is to talk about the new Keep Bladensburg Clean and Green Fall Cleanup event. And it used to be a other name last year, Growing Green with Pride, but now that we have a new county executive, we've changed the name to also follow their initiative as well. So this will be held on Saturday, October 25th from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. and all volunteers will meet at Bladensburg Town Hall. And that morning we'll be planting trees, perennials, and also picking up litter around our community. So if anybody's interested in volunteering that day, students, adults, whoever wants to volunteer, definitely use the scan the QR code, and also the volunteer sign up link is on our website, social media, Linktree. There's various ways you could get the sign up link, or you can always call in, email us, and we'll get you signed up. So that's all I really have to say for this event. And any questions?
Thanks, Ray. No, I think the other part just to mention is that we're going to do over, I think I've talked to Purnell, we're going to get 300 additional bulbs. So we're going to put in more bulbs for the spring. So this in some ways is setting us up for our floral display in the spring and all around town hall and in our key areas. So we'll be teaching people how to put in bulbs and how to do that as an example so that we can have a great spring for America in Bloom. And this again is one of those projects that is bringing the community together. So, and I really think the work that Ray has done is trying to get this out in the community and getting it going. But just so some of the plantings will be perennial bulbs that will come up year after year.
Alrighty, so the next item on the agenda is the America in Bloom 2025 evaluation report. 1 second, I'm gonna share my screen so everybody can see the report.
So excited. I feel like all I have to do is just sit here.
All right, so since it is a 35-page report, I'll just summarize it for everybody. So this year, from July 17th through the 18th, we had 2 American Bloom advisors come visit the town of Bladensburg. We just joined American Bloom last year, and we're proud of the transformation that town of Bladensburg is experiencing. And it can't happen overnight or over 1 year, but over the next couple of years, we're excited to see our progress. But I'm happy to highlight some achievements that we've accomplished over just the past year that we've been in the program. So we did earn the same star rating, which is 6 stars, 6 out of 10 stars, same as last year. However, our overall score increased by 7% from last year. Our top category, again, is community vitality. I think mainly because of our connection with our community and our ability to have engaging community events and really have a inclusive community as well. Some areas, also our overall impression increased by 7% as well from last year. So even though our floral impact is low at 28%, it was an 11% increase from last year. So there's still improvement there. And also our urban forestry increased by 21%. Even though it's at 32%, it increased by 21%. So all categories, 6 out of 8 categories increased this year.
Yeah, and that's because we joined Tree City USA, which is another part of what the Green Team is doing, and the increase in the number of trees that we put in over this year to last year. Thank you, Ray, because I just went to the American Bloom Conference. I sent Ray last year, and he enjoyed it so much that he sent me. I ended up going this year. And the one thing that I did learn, which is of many, which I think I put in a summary to the council this last week, but the one thing that we did learn about, like some of the things that we were working on, is that incrementally towns have found that they start to go up in certain things. This year, we are really gonna focus on the floral impact score, because we've done more in-ground plantings. But with American Bloom, they love to see the baskets. They love to see that big color show. And so we're going to look at some opportunities for that. But it was interesting because I talked to a person that is in Illinois, in a place where they don't have a lot of baskets. But what they did is they did some landscaping around their gazebo. And I looked at our gazebo. And so what we're going to try to do is put some planters around the gazebo and try to increase some of the planting there, because it's a great focal point for the town. And we're going to do some movable ones that can be put in and out so that you can kind of have that opportunity to see it and add some more planters throughout the town. Rod Barnes from Edmonston is the outgoing president of American Bloom, and he gave me some really good tips on some things that they've done in Edmonston and working with Community Forklift on doing some planters that we can kind of recycle or upcycle some planters, and they actually gave them credits for doing it, like as far as they took off some of the pricing. So we're going to look at doing that as well and adding some planters around town in some different places. And then this year we also have the 2 new bus shelters that are going in that will also add color to 2 portions of the town. So I think in the community, in the Floral Impact, we'll be able to kind of show off a little bit more and bring that number up slowly. But the one thing I got from talking to people is that it's not like a 1-year process where you go up like 10 points, or we did go up 10 points in some, but it's not like you're going to go up 100 points and in a year. It's going to be incremental, and they want to see that change over years. So we're really kind of focused on that. And Ray was so amazing. He's really great at keeping the community vitality stuff and getting us good high points in that, and making sure that we are really celebrating our heritage, and the overall impression number is really high because of all the social media work that he does on the town. So I want to thank Ray for his support on this every year and getting this together. And even our tour, it takes a lot to do the tour every year with the 2 advisors. I spend a lot of time with them. Ray spends a lot of time putting in the work and with them. And it's not an easy process because they ask you 1,000 questions and you're trying to answer all of them. So I just wanted to make sure that we kind of did that. And thank you, Steve. I think you met with them too when we came over and kind of saw them. So everybody can kind of meet them and kind of get things together.
Yeah. One question. Did they say anything about us using the various grasses, or should they be incorporated later?
Thank you, Councilwoman. That's one of the things that I noticed, that more people are starting to use the grasses. And so we are going to start implementing those into some of our landscaping. And the one thing that the advisor and I talked about, because I saw our advisor at the thing. And so she was a person that I kind of walked around with when I was in Michigan. And we were talking about grasses because I was talking about adding some more. And she said, as long as you maintain them and they don't become weedy, because, sometimes the grasses, other things kind of get into them. So she suggested some of the smaller grasses. So we do have a list of those, and we're going to start to implement them. And we're going to start to also add them in some of our, in the rain garden area that we have going up Edmonston Road, and also maybe in front of Town Hall. So we'll be doing that because the grasses are sort of a good perennial. So in the spring, you'll see more grasses in the implementation of it. But the hard part on the stuff in front of Town Hall, we have so much shade. The shade grasses don't do as well. But on Edmonston, we have all that sun. So they'll be huge on Edmonston.
Okay.
So I just wanted to highlight some achievements that the advisors mentioned, and also some recommendations as well, just briefly. So they did recognize Eco City Farms. I really loved the tour that they went on, the open house that they went to. They called Davis Harrington Park a great example of an urban park. I think so as well, especially with the exercise equipment going around the circle in town. It's definitely been a great upgrade since 2017. The 57th Avenue corridor, they called it a first-class beautification success because we planted new trees, the new banners, and also the hanging pots. They also liked our "Don't Be Bitter, Pick Up Your Litter" posters that went in the trash cans.
Oh, good.
Thank you, Green Team.
Yeah.
Really acknowledging and letting the community know that we acknowledge the litter issue. We're trying our best to solve it. Also the Amen Trust. They commended your work in really preserving our historical, buildings in Bladensburg as well. They also acknowledged the Boswick House as a high potential historical asset in the town of Bladensburg. Also, a big shout out to Michelle for the Juneteenth benches that were implemented. That's all her idea, so we'll give her all the credit. That is her idea. But yeah, they like those, and I see them get used every single day. So those were a great
Parkview
idea.
residents are a little perturbed right now.
Well, do they want one?
Yeah, I think you
We're
said
getting them one.
they couldn't put one. I'm like, they're like, where's our bench? Where's our bus shelter? I'm like, well, I'll go back to the drawing board.
Yeah,
Do they
it's on
want it
a
over? Do they want it by the senior
Annapolis
building?
Road.
They want it over somewhere close to the bus stop because a lot of them have to sit. They sit and they wait on their bus.
Okay. Well, we're doing 2 or 3 more this at the Bladensburg Day. So what we'll do is we can try to reserve one. That's not a. It's like if we can, as long as we that already you have there's concrete there, right?
There's what?
Is there?
There's
Is it?
concrete, but it's just so small. It's narrow because the school, school has the grass, and then they have that little space where the bus, and it's kind of sunken now.
Okay. So we'll look at it and see what we can do, because I think we can probably maybe even fashion one that maybe 1 or 2 people, we can maybe do a single, you know what I'm saying, something to kind of get it. We could do something unique there. So we hear you. We hear you. And so we'll take a picture, Councilwoman. Maybe I'll go out there with you and we can maybe figure out something that works in the size. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Yeah,
Okay.
I saw the benches on Annapolis Road. People really appreciate them, and they really look nice.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
do.
They do.
They do. We're excited.
And
Purnell built them. Because I'm not saying this hobby. Purnell built them. Ray got the interns to help to do the stenciling and came up with the ideas for the actual design. So let me make sure that everybody gets their credit, because there's a lot of hands in that project, and we continue to work together. So but no, we can. Yeah, Councilwoman, let's take a look at where at Parkview, and then I can kind of come with you and we can say, hey, we can try to see if we can do a customized site one, because Purnell put in some concrete in areas to put down the new garbage cans. So we could probably get a piece of concrete that we could put there and help you with that.
Yes, that would help.
Okay, no worries, we got him.
And some of the recommendations that they recommended, which all don't have to be implemented this next year, but just in the future, they would like to see the Bladensburg Waterfront Park, landscaping improve over time. They did say for the benches to protect them during the winter months.
Right.
They also recommended to implement a best business landscape award to try to encourage businesses to get involved.
Perk up their buildings. Oh,
They also said possibly use the George Washington House as a local museum in the future. And keep staying committed to solar, recycling, and green infrastructure. And that's pretty much it. So yeah, we appreciate the evaluation. It gets us to see where areas we can improve on. And again, it's going to take years, but we are making great strides in a small amount of time that we've been in the program.
Ray, that's amazing. Thank you for summing everything up and getting everything together for this meeting. Part of the green team is not only just the fact that we have to do, we do this because we want to keep our sustainable Maryland, but at the same time, we want to improve things in the town. Councilwoman McBride, Steve, what are some things that you would like to see us do, just as far as things that we could improve upon with, kind of not only with American Bloom, but in other ways that we can kind of help to green up and do things in the town?
I know some residents, but I don't know if that would pertain to Bladensburg. They want to have like a little mini garden. Well, we already talked about that, but like putting in flowers somewhere. And I don't know if that's something they can maybe do a part on our end, do a project with maybe with the Elizabeth Seton students?
Yeah. I mean, if there's the places that you know where people want flowers, like if they want us to adopt a flower bed or help them to create a flower bed, we can
Okay.
help with that if we get the permission. Let's say like at Parkview, if they want us to like put together like a little flower area or something. And if they will help with the watering if once we put them in. Do you know what I'm saying? Like if we can do some stuff like
Right.
that, that would be, even if it's in front where we can help, where we have a day where we go out and get community volunteers. We're happy to do that.
Okay, and I'll bring that up. Yeah.
We just need the
Well,
help
we'll
with
be
the
having
day-to-day
that-
watering of it, and maybe, if some volunteers in the building want to say, I want to weed this, but we could help with maybe like even the small donations to get it started, to do some of the, buying some of the plants and things like that. If that's what what I'm saying, if the residents or somebody wants to do something like that.
Yes.
Steve, what are you seeing out there? Things that we could do.
Yeah, I really like the post office flower planter. Purnell did
Yeah.
a great job planting
Oh, yeah.
flowers, and really looks nice. Now there's a water faucet there. The postmaster wants to water the flowers, and there's a water faucet there without a handle. So
Yeah.
I asked Purnell if he could find a handle for it, but then I looked at it again. It looks like the stem is stripped out.
Yeah.
Oh,
So
And I know that we bring the truck over and water it. He does a water tank and goes around and does some of that to when we can't get to it, he's doing the water tank.
oh, good. And I talked to the mayor at the when I voted election day, and she said the fire department owns that building.
They do.
So we might
We
be
got
able
their
to get,
permission. We got their permission before putting in everything there, because I didn't want to say that, I asked them, can we do it? And they said, as long as it's okay with the post office. So, yeah.
right. But yeah, so we might be able to get the fire department to fix the faucet. And
Maybe.
the mayor said if they can't do it, we could ask him if Purnell could fix it. He could probably fix it. And they could put a soaker hose in there to help. The postmaster would be willing to go out there and turn it on to water the flowers and keep them
Right.
watered. And I think some of those flowers might last during the winter. I'm not sure.
Yeah, some are perennials. Some of the coleuses will probably die and we'll replant, but we added roses there that will come back. So,
Oh, that's
so
good.
we're also, and the other part about it is like, I'll talk to Purnell, because on the 25th, we may do the replacement with adding some bulbs there as well, and adding bulbs to that planter so that you have fresh color, like the stuff that's coming back, that we can add some bulbs into there too. So it'll change for the spring a little bit.
Oh yeah, that'd be great, because
Yeah.
that really presents a good image of the town and
It does.
encourages people to plant flowers.
Yeah.
It really looks good. And another idea, I don't know if this counts with the green team, but the street going to Annapolis Road going towards Peace Cross.
Mhm.
They've done this in the past, like on Veterans Day and patriotic days, put flags on the telephone poles. And I don't know if that would count under celebrating.
It does. It's kind of community vitality. I know that the only issue we've got is that Pepco is no longer allowing us to do that, the banners as much anymore. And Ray, you might be able to talk to, we're trying to do some new banners on the bridge to increase that, to kind of increase some things like that. But I know that we had an issue that we couldn't get Pepco to let us use to use their poles, right?
Mhm.
Yeah, that's correct. For the past couple of years, we've been asking Pepco to see if we could possibly use those poles and put in new banners along Annapolis Road, but when we haven't been able to get a yes, and I think they're leaning towards not putting anything on their poles.
What about just a small American flag? Would they allow that?
Nothing from their poles whatsoever. That's the issue. It's a
Oh.
liability issue for them. So that's because they used to let us put up banners, and that was a program that we were able to do, and they've just kind of gone away from it at all. We have to own so the ones when you see the banners are lighting that's owned by the town.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
So when the ones on 50, the reason why we were able to do 57 is because we own those lights.
Oh, okay.
And so that's the issue. So that what the ones on the bridge, we own those lights. So we're going to probably try to see if we can fit some along the bridge that goes across to Colmar Manor and Cottage City.
Oh, that'd be nice.
Yeah. So we're trying to do some of those things, but it's hard because we don't own all those lights. And that's a whole other thing, Councilwoman McBride, because you and I talked, I think the council, I presented the issue that, of us eventually purchasing all of our Pepco lights and the cost of that. So it's not an easy fix at this moment.
Okay.
But we do want to see, those are good ideas. And from this group saying they want to see more, kind of patriotic and more of those kinds of things is something that we definitely can continue to work on.
Okay. One other thing. I don't recall if I asked this before, but will they allow us to do any type of floral right there by the bridge? I think is that Colmar Manor right at the bridge?
On our side or Colmar Manor?
On our side.
It's us actually. We annexed that in and it's owned by Park and Planning. So we can do is we can now start talking to Park and Planning about those entryways. And you're right. Like I think the other part about what we'll need to look at is that on the portions that we've annexed in now, some of the new things like by Public Playhouse, because that's now a new entryway for the town, that we may see if we can put signage and maybe something there to say welcome to the town of Bladensburg. So that's something we can kind of investigate more with Park and Planning, whether or not they'll let us put an entry sign there at some places, and we can do something. The nice thing about Public Playhouse, they have a lot of nice planters already. And maybe that we want to mimic more of those too throughout the town. So you may see some of that in the town in the new year.
Okay.
I'll just throw in there over the next 2 years, possibly adding some more art installations around town, such as I know a big one people bring up is the crosswalk art murals. So maybe one day we'll get into that, especially near the crosswalk that's by Bladensburg High School. I think that's a great spot. But yeah, whenever that time comes.
There's a grant
yeah,
for it. There's a grant for it, right? You and I have to kind of put it together, but there's a grant for it by T-Mobile actually that I think just closed, but we do need to apply for it.
Oh, that would be excellent.
Yeah.
Yeah. Make our roadway a little more exciting. I always tell Ray, I picture down there by the library, being able just to do that piece down there, but yeah.
Yeah, that's a very busy piece and it's state highway, but if it's we can maybe get them to let us do Edmonston, but that's a whole other thing. So yeah, you're right. But no.
I noticed on Tilden Road, they're replacing some of the old telephone poles.
Yeah.
They've transferred the electric Pepco lines over. I guess they're going to plan to transfer the internet cables over also later.
Yeah, I think so. That's what I know that they're doing some of the cable wires, they try to do them all at the same time. What I can do is we can find out from Sean if they don't really contact us when they do it. They sort of just do it and then we have to call back later and see what they're doing, if that makes sense.
Yeah, because I know Pepco's fussy about that. They'll trim the trees around the electric lines, but not the internet lines.
Right, because they're not there. They only care about their ones. I know that happened with me at home where my Verizon line got cut, and we couldn't get cable. I mean, we couldn't get cable and internet because they won't come out and fix it. It's too, so they're all on the same pole, but they don't all talk to each other.
Right.
And my Comcast TV is blinking on and off sometimes, so I thought that's probably why they're working on the poles.
Okay. Well, Ray, what else is on our agenda for today?
That was it. I know you wanted to mention, I believe, the Tree City.
Yeah, so Tree City, the green team also serves as the tree board. So what we'll do is we'll give you an update at the next meeting about what our progress has been this year. We have to spend a certain amount on trees, and so we will be doing that. And we will also share with you any other updates from Tree City. We'll have a meeting in November if that works for everyone.
Yeah. Did they plant our trees already that we talked about earlier?
We've been, Joe's movement has been planting quite a few trees that we've been working with them. Also, we've been working with the county on a tree plan for on private property where they're going to be approaching residents. They're doing they're doing their own survey, but they're also going to approach residents about the ability to plant trees near and around the right of way. So there's a lot of actually tree stuff going on. That we're working with couple of different partners. But Joe's just told us, Aster from Joe's movement just told us that she has some more trees that are available to us that we can also add to the add this year in this new fiscal.
Okay.
Yeah, I have a question. I saw the report they made, and I think there was about 10 pages on Bostwick and the historical stuff. I was wondering, are they going to come back and talk to us about that, or should I just forward that to the Amen Trust group to read it?
Yeah, I was going to forward some. You mean for American Bloom? I will forward it out to you guys in Amen Trust separately as well. We just got this the other day. What was last Monday? So I haven't had a chance to forward it out widely. And so yeah, we will forward that out to you guys too. And we're gonna also go to council, and it'll be on the council agenda as part of the October meeting. So a full copy of the report will be there.
Yeah, because Amen Trust would really be interested in their report there, and maybe just tell them what pages it's on.
Yeah, we can definitely do that.
Yeah, that'd be great. That was really nice meeting with him.
Yeah.
That was good. I enjoyed that.
And next year you'll get to meet with them again. Every year we're going to keep up the same kind of, participation. So we'll have and we can talk about things that we've gotten done.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So that was it about Tree City. No, I just appreciate everybody being on today. We are excited about, the green up, clean up, or that the green up, green and clean, elevate Prince George's. That's what it's called. I think the county exam is called Clean and Green, Elevate Prince George's. I'm excited about that, which will be on the 25th. And we're looking forward to having students and adults and anybody who wants to come out and volunteer. Again, we'll be putting in more trees. We'll be planting more bulbs and things for the spring. This one is our fall one, which gets us ready for spring. And then spring gets us ready for the year, which will happen probably in March. So very exciting time. Remember, leaf collection is going to be happening in November. And the one good thing about leaf collection is that Cornell collects all these leaves and we bring them to Eco City Farms, and they're used to compost and mulch for the year. So there's some exciting stuff going on. We'll send out a meeting for November of 2025.
You just switches to March.
Yeah, this is the October. And so for November of 2025, we'll have another meeting. And then we'll probably meet again in January after that, but to try to keep us continuously meeting. Ray, is there anything else that we're missing for Green Team otherwise?
I believe that's it. We covered a lot, and especially the American Bloom report, that was pretty big. But yeah, thank you all for joining us today and giving your ideas.
Yeah, I got something. You mentioned the cleanup. Is that something you could advertise at the high school to get some of the kids involved? And I know they get
I send it to the high schools. So looking forward to, getting more students. And these kind of events, I believe like the week of, a lot of the students sign up, but we get pretty good participation from the students, and we appreciate the principals and staff, letting the students know about the opportunity.
Yeah, and I think that the kids can get credit for community
Right.
service.
Yes.
Yep.
That's good to get them involved in it to help, inspire people to keep the town clean too.
Yep.
And the leaf pickup, that reminded me, I also talked to the mayor about many years ago, when somebody bought a house, moved into Bladensburg, the town had a welcome bag, and we have the Bladensburg tote bags. And I've talked to Ray about this, to having that tote bag for new people moving in, the leaf pickup schedule, phone numbers, get them
Oh,
involved
that's
on the
good.
weekly email and so forth. Because a lot of people move into Bladensburg and they think they can burn the leaves in the backyard, and the smoke's billowing out, the fire department, police show up. And I've tried to hand the paper out occasionally to people, but we have a turnover. Fortunately, people renovating houses here and new people coming in. And the mayor said, well, how do we know who's moving in? One way is with the neighbors, requesting the welcome bag. But another way, I don't know if this is possible, to have a link to Zillow to find what houses are being bought in Bladensburg. And it'd be another way, but that would really help people be responsible. One time they had a town meeting. I looked out the window. I'm watching it at home, on the computer, and I look out the window, 7-foot flames in the front yard, burning leaves. And
Yeah.
so I had to call the Bladensburg police, and the fire chief had to leave the meeting.
So no, but see,
yeah.
that's a really good idea. What we can do is I know that there's not a lot for sale, but there are some houses that we have seen that are for sale. We can ask code enforcement, maybe Ray, to help us with houses that are on the market, and as they look like they're new people move in, we can give that out to them. We can give out, a bag with the town newsletter, just stuff, and say welcome, maybe like a quick welcome thing. We could put that together and give it out to people. I know that the other thing, and kind of addressing what you're talking about, is that maybe we need to do something that talks about leaf burning, or the fact that it's not allowed in the town,
Right.
on our social media, that we could probably put that in there.
Yeah, because we have real,
that would be nice.
yeah, we have real good leaf pickup service, trash
Mm-hmm.
pickup. The new people moving in just need to know what the schedule is and stuff.
Yeah, I think it's in our newsletter every time. I think we have all the we do put that in the newsletter, don't we, on a regular basis, right?
For
Trash
leaf
recycling,
collection or trash?
trash recycling, leaf collection. I know we have it in. We know we usually have it in for the leaf collection.
Yeah, the days are usually in the public works section.
Yeah. But
But
maybe we
yeah,
just put
I know
something,
that
a
time is
reminder.
coming up, so soon we'll put out the schedule, and on the schedule at the bottom, maybe somewhere I'll tell people the rules of the leaves and not to burn them, especially.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then that way then it's in that newsletter, and we usually have extra newsletters so that when new people come in, we could just put the new newsletter in the thing, and that kind of gives you what to expect.
Yeah, that'd be
Yeah.
great.
And I could try to check with some of the with the apartment buildings, because during the election, I was really kind of taken, because a lot of people didn't know about our newsletter. And I'm like, you've got to keep up with that in order to find out what's going on in town. So therefore you're left uninformed, and then you want to make a complaint, but then there's a process. So I mean, I can visit some of the buildings and talk to the property managers and maybe put that in their packet.
Or maybe
information.
or what we can just do is, Ray, it goes to every single household in Bladensburg, right? Even everyone in apartments.
Yes,
So
it's supposed to go to every household.
How many extra do we get printed? Do we usually have?
Only about 20.
So maybe what we could do is maybe print an extra 50. And then that way, Councilwoman, you can maybe bring a couple up you can have some to bring up to, because I don't think we have a lot to, distribute more than one or two. I mean, like I was thinking like 20 or so for like when people purchase houses. But we may not have the number of, since the vacancies in the apartments change so often, I'm not sure if we have when they miss one that we have enough for that. But what we can also do is just kind of keep the make sure the property managers are informed and bringing them up to each one of the property managers and having maybe a couple extra for people.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm wondering, do these senior apartments and the apartment buildings have a bulletin board in the lobby that you could post some things like, trash, whatever? Well, I think they handle their own trash.
They have their own, yeah, it's
they have their
different.
own trash.
Yeah,
But
post events and things that's going on in
we
town.
do it. We do flyers at a lot of places, right? So we take them out there. So
yeah, but some of them have boards and some of them just have tables that you set the flyers on.
Yeah, I know we have boards and you can put stuff on the table. I definitely want to get that My Bladensburg app. So many are not informed. They don't know how to contact.
We're moving actually to a different, you can use My Bladensburg, but it's only going to be on for another couple of months. We're actually moving towards a different system, which we'll be presenting to you.
Okay.
So, and the other best thing is that using our Facebook, Instagram, and all the social media, we're sharing a lot of that on there so that if there are issues that they can direct message us to the Bladensburg, and Ray will get that and we will take care of that as well. But we have My Bladensburg too for people to put in complaints.
Okay.
But it's going, but we are not getting as many people on My Bladensburg, and sometimes because it's just an app that they're enough with apps, so they do use their social media, and we are active on our social media. Ray's very active, right, Ray?
I tried.
Yeah, because I got a new complaint from a town resident. I'm like, and I advise her about using the app, but maybe
she can use the app as well. I'm just saying that sometimes if the app is like we are using it, but maybe we can talk offline what the complaint is, and maybe we can just address it if they send an email too. Sometimes it's just as good.
Yeah, and do the senior apartments and apartment buildings have a residence group, like a president and so forth to help spread the word, of things that,
Yeah, we usually give it to the manager.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, I appreciate everybody's recommendations, and thank you for joining us today. I'll schedule a meeting for early November.
Okay. Councilwoman McBride, I'll give you a call right after and check in on you, okay?
Okay. Thank you.
Bye, guys.
All right. Bye, everybody.
Yeah. Nice meeting.